he told my parents that Harry Potter is Antichrist. So I actually had an imaginary friend that I named Meena. The guy will be Christian, the guy will be Tamil, the guy will be of the caste PR. The relationship was never equal. It was always him above me.
It takes only a blink of an eye to form a first impression. A glance is enough for us to weave one story. But how much of this narrative is true? We asked you to give your first impression of a person on Instagram. Now they get to share their story. Welcome to One of Us.
Hey guys, I am the next participant in the third episode of One of Us. My name is a secret for now, but I'm 30 years old and I am from Port Blair, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Let's see how much you can guess from this much information. I think people would guess some Western name or something Christian or something like that. Yeah. Okay, I see a lot of Indian names. I did not expect that. I love Aparna. I usually like all the Bengali names actually. Brinda, I'm sure it has a good meaning too. I actually had an imaginary friend that I named Meena. I have always wanted to have some meaningful name, some Sanskrit or Tamil name. My parents have this, family friends. They have 3 daughters, Romsi, Lassie, and the third one is called Bitsy because she's the youngest. Imagine her childhood. So when I was born, I was automatically named Jency. So my name is completely meaningless. When I was growing up, I actually bugged my parents a lot. I used to ask them what on earth is the meaning of my name. They made up a story for that. So they were like, your name is the English term for Jhansi Ki Rani. So I actually grew up believing that. But in first year, I told my friends about this and they still laugh their asses off when they recollect the story. Yeah. That's a really accurate assumption. I am really, really happy that nobody voted for 5 point someone. I grew up reading Harry Potter and not in a very comfortable way. I mean, I have this uncle. He told my parents that Harry Potter is Antichrist. So I used to go to the state library, bring it back home and change the cover so that my parents don't know it's Harry Potter. I find it funny now thinking about it in the hindsight, but it really infuriated me because I was into Harry Potter like a maniac. So I think they would either have guessed single or in a relationship. I mean, nothing in between, I guess. Okay. 0%. Okay, that's shocking. Not at all. I was expecting that. I have been separated from my husband since like 5 years now. Yeah, so I was dating a nice Bengali boy in college and we were planning to marry and all. But we didn't work out. My dad had made it clear that the guy will be Christian, the guy will be Tamil, the guy will be of the caste PR. So after separating from my boyfriend, I got married. The marriage deteriorated very quickly. We were two very completely different people. We did not have any common ground to talk about. The relationship was never equal. It was always him above me. He was, mentally tortured too by his parents. Like they would say, be a man. Your wife does anything she wants. Like control her. He was a gym trainer. I was at the peak of my career. My architecture was going fine. So at one point when he did not have any money and he had to come back and feel like a man in front of me, so he started being abusive. In that course of time, I got pregnant. When I got pregnant, I know the norm is to be happy, but it was mixed feelings. I was scared. I was not ready for a kid at that point. Yeah, so the last time we were together, Zoe was sick. It was her first birthday. At night around 1 or 2 o'clock, I had to administer the syrup. And he came home late that night drunk. Since he was, wobbling and all, the syrup, it fell down. So there was no more syrup to give her and I got really angry. Then he got very mad and he started hitting me and all. And when I was trying to get out of the house, he pushed me. I fell on the floor and she was on the hip, so her leg came in between. So she woke up and she cried like hell. When he, gets drunk and all, he wants sex. So he would hold her hand and he'll be like, I'll break her hand if you don't come. And those were the points when I used to think like, I'm not in love with him, then if not for her, then what's the point in like continuing this relationship? I can earn on my own, I can take care of my own, so what is the point? So that was when I decided to like walk out of the marriage. Wow, 22 people answered businesswoman. Okay, Robert Bruce 222, he says, I am a homemaker. People have tried to make me a homemaker, but that never happened. Businesswoman would be a correct assumption. Right now, I have my own architectural firm in Port Blair. Apart from this, I have a e-commerce shop which is functioning very well. The major misconceptions that I have faced, people usually assume that I would not be able to, give as much time as a male counterpart would. The first impression is she has a child, how come she'll take care of the project, or will she be able to finish on time? People have those questions. And the same people, when they see me working hard, they'll be like, okay, so she's working hard, so she's not a good mother. You can never win. What's my story? So since I'm into books and all, I'm into fairy tales and all those kinds of shit that I had installed in my brain. So I never thought I'll ever get divorced or anything. I'm like a romantic person who had a different story in my mind. I hanged on to it because I was afraid of the word divorce. Right now I'm at a phase where I am in the healing process, but towards the end, I really appreciate the mental space that I have built for myself. I have an amazing daughter. She's amazing. I mean, like, she's very understanding. And also, I have many things to bring to the table. Like, I still can love someone unconditionally. I feel this is the time I am going to live my life, like, right now. One important thing that I would like to add is that when you're going through a rough phase, I mean, especially if you're being abused, then you should seek help. I had people around me that could have helped me, but I was so sure that I would come off as the wrong person that I never even reached out. I know how that feels, so I know how difficult it is, but then don't keep tolerating shit for like years together. It'll take more time to heal later on. So, and if someone you know is going through something, please don't sympathize. It doesn't do any good to the person who's the victim. So I would say empathize. Yeah, that's what I would like to say. Hey guys, it was really fun looking at all your responses, assumptions and opinions, and I really had fun doing this series. And if you like this video, do like, share and subscribe to Table. Bye!